Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this motorbike here inside of Road to Grambys. As you can see, if we hop on it, it is fully functional, it turns and everything, and yeah, so make sure to watch right to the end so you know how to get this motorbike. And if at any point you do struggle, I've got a code down below in the description so you can see if you've gone wrong anywhere or anything like that. So the items what you'll need for this build will be 105 connectors, 1 seat, 4 spinners, 3 input sensors, 1 steering gyro, 1 servo, 1 splitter, 6 sticks, 1 thruster, a temporary gyro, and finally a tool gun. Obviously you don't need to lay them all out like this, I'm just doing it because then it's visual and everything. But yeah, so let's get right on with this tutorial. Okay, so the first step we want to do is grab 1 connector and then go grab your temporary gyro. So this will just make sure the build's all stable throughout it and it won't fall over or anything. So here we go, we have our gyro here. So your next step is to grab 1 connector and place it on the left hand side of your connector with the gyro on. Once you have completed that step, what you want to do, you want to go grab 4 connectors and place them all along the right hand side in a row, just like so. So then you should be getting something like this, where you have your central gyro here, you have 1 connector on one side, and you have 4 connectors going along the other side. Okay, so for our next step, we're going to want to use our tool gun, and if you press Shift and Q or Shift and E, depending on what hand you have it on, you want to go down to rotate X. Then it will turn green, and then we just want to press it once like so, so this connector is now rotated. Then once this has been rotated, you're going to want to get 6 connectors and just place them along the top of that rotated one here. Okay, then grabbing our tool gun here, you want to go up onto this third one here and rotate it around so we start getting like a wheel shape for our motorbike. So 1, 2, 3. So you want to make sure you're getting an angle like this. Then we're going to move along another 2 and do the exact same. Unfortunately, we're going to have to spin it all the way around, but nothing much we can do about that. So there we go, we got another 2, and then we're just going to flatten this one out just like so. And there we go, we've got our back wheel shape going. Now we're going to go do the same on the front here. Okay, so for the front bit here, you want to go grab 8 connectors, and again we can just place them in a row. So I'm going to place them on top of our one just here. So I'm going to place them all down, and then we'll be able to rotate them. Okay, so I've got them all lined up here just like so on top of this one here. So then what you want to do, you want to go grab our tool gun, and we're going to go rotate them all around. So we're going to do it nice and stable to get that wheel kind of shape where we can be able to put our wheels in that. So we're going to have it lined up like this and then go 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to go up 2 so we get to this one here, and we're going to do it all again. And then we're going to rotate it around till it's flat, and then 1, 2, and we'll get that kind of shape. And then we're going to do something a little bit differently here. We're going to go each one, so we're just going to rotate them around for each one of these. So straighten that up, have that one there, and then once you've gotten to this point where you've managed to level it out flat, you're going to have 2, and then we're just going to rotate these down 1. We're going to rotate that one down. So what we should have is that we've had rotate X, so we go straight up into quite a steep incline. Then we flatten it out using the tool gun here. We have 2 flat here, and then we got like a little short kind of steep there. So I'll give you a couple moments to like replicate that on either side. Okay, then let's go move on to our next step. For our next step, we're going to need 4 connectors, and what we're going to do, we're just going to place them on top of our base ones here. Make sure we're placing them directly above the connectors, as if not, they might go in the wrong position. Just like so. Then you're going to want to grab 1 connector and just pop it on this edge bit here, just so then we don't have many gaps. You also want to do the same on this side here, so just make sure we're being extra careful. So we should have this area all filled in now. So this next phase is going to require quite a couple connectors, but what we're going to be doing, we're going to be making this kind of like more 3D. So we're going to put some connectors all along the sides here. But there is one thing what you do want to avoid. You want to make sure this bottom bit stays 1 connector thick, while the other bits will have a connector on either side, giving it some thickness. But make sure our bottom bit doesn't have any connectors. So I'm just going to go along and start placing these all in. Make sure we're filling up these gaps here so our bike doesn't look like it has any spaces. So to make sure we do that, instead of placing it on the left hand side here, we're going to place it on this connector just here. So as you can see, we don't have any gaps with it. Okay, so instead of doing the same for this side here, you can just pop it on this connector. It's a lot easier as well, so I just recommend you do that. And it doesn't even affect the actual look of the bike, so you're going to be okay. So I'm just going to go place all of these along the sides here. It's pretty self-explanatory, I think. Just making sure we're being extra careful and not to put anything in the wrong position. So we've almost got this, we've almost got the first side done here now. We're just onto our final little bike bit. And the final connector for this side, and as you can see, it's now all 2 connectors thick. So if I just go turn this around so it's facing our connector pile, and let's go do the exact same on the other side here, making sure we keep it all symmetrical. Okay then, so I've now made this all thick here. So for our next step, we're going to start building up the walls of this a little bit. So to do this, we're just going to get our 4 connectors again and just place them along at the top here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. So if we just rotate that around and do it on the exact same, just on the other side. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, there we go. And then what we can do, we can just build off of the sides here to fill up these gaps here. So we place 1 either side. I'm going to place it on the other side here. And then we grab a connector and we place it on a little rotated part just to fill up any gaps so people won't be able to see the inside of the build. Okay then, now what we're going to go do, we're going to go grab one of our input sensors. We're going to press Shift Q and set it to W, just like so. And then we're going to go pop it on the inside of our bike. So I'm going to pop it around about here, I'd say. No, not here actually. We're going to pop it around at the back, I'd say. So you want to go pop it at the back just here. And then we're going to grab our splitter 1. So we're going to pop our splitter 1 on the input sensor. And then over here, we're going to pop it just down here, like so. So you should be getting something like this. And then finally, you're going to go want to put your thruster on that splitter. So we just have that there. So now when we press W, it will power this thruster once we put the seat in. Okay, so once we've done that, we're actually going to go pop our seat in and everything. So we're going to go pop the seat. That's a little bit too close actually. Pop the seat in, just, can we get it there? Yeah, we go. Just pop our seat in just there. As you can see, it's already rotated in for us, which is pretty nice. So yeah, you don't need to touch or anything. As you can see, we get a nice little first person camera angle, and it does look like we're riding the bike properly. Then once we have done that, it might become a bit of a tricky phase, but what we're going to do, we're going to grab our 2 remaining input sensors, put one on the red part of this servo and put one on a blue part of this servo, and we're going to set one to A. Then we're going to set one to D. Just a quick note, the red one should be D and the blue one should be A. I muddled them around. So just make sure the input sensor on the red side is D and the input sensor on the blue side is A. Then finally, we're going to put our steering gyro on top, enable it, and then we're going to go make sure we're clicking on the servo part. So I recommend looking above it and grabbing just a little green part, just so then it won't get in your way. And then we're going to have to line up our mouse. So as you can see, we got little dots in the middle here, what we can use to see where it will be placed. Unfortunately, we can't place the seat in if we have the gyro in, so we're going to have to kind of eyeball it. Is that right? No, that is not right. We mucked up there. Oh no, that's not good. But yeah, so this might take a couple attempts, but basically what you want it to be doing is making sure you get one of these middle parts here. So if you're struggling with it, like I am, you can just grab a connector here, grab one of the middle ones, and then you'll just be able to slide it in. So I'm going to put my seat in. There we go, that's in. Right, and then we're trying to get that connector there. There we go. Right, okay, we got that in. So now what we can do, we can just go pop our connector back, and then if we were to hop in our seat, we press A, and if we press D, oh no, I've gotten the wrong way around. If you do get it the wrong way around, don't worry, you can just press Shift A or Shift Q or Shift E on these, and you can just change them the other way around. So now if I hop in my seat, if I press A, we turn, and D if we turn, and then W will move forward. So we've got the basics of our motorbike all down. So let's start making this thing look a little bit more fancy. Okay, so now what we can do, we could just go into rotate X for our front here. So we're going to rotate these inwards, giving us a more pointy front. So we're going to rotate it till it's about there, I'd say. So you want to make sure it's rotated in a slant, and then we'll just do the exact same over here. So also a quick note, I understand some of you guys may not have your front connector actually turning with this one here. So to fix that, if you just deattach that connector and make sure you're popping it here onto this one, so then it'll be at the same angle as that, and we've got our front. Now for our next phase, we're going to need 2 short sticks, and what we're just going to do, we're just going to pop one here on our right hand side just there, and one there. So these are going to act as the handles. So if we head over to our tool gun, so if we rotate X these, as you can see, we start giving it a bit of a slant. So actually I think I'm just going to rotate it once. If you do mess up, you can just grab another short stick like I did here, and you can just pop it in like so. And so now we've got our handles for our motorbike here. These are just like for appearances. They don't actually function, so don't worry about if you're unable to get them, but yeah. Okay, so now we're going to go work on our back wheels. So if I press R here to ragdoll, so we can get a better view underneath the back of our bike, you want to place 1 stick here. We're going to count 3 inwards, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to place our other one there, just like so. Then if we grab 2 connectors, we're going to pop one here, and we're going to pop the other one here. So as you can see, we've got our 2 connectors, and then finally we just need to grab 2 spinners, and these are going to act as our wheels. These don't actually function as wheels, as the thruster what we put in earlier is actually going to act as our like propellant. These are just for decorations to make it actually look like a motorbike. Now we're going to go do the same at the front. So if I go grab another 2 sticks here, so we're going to go underneath our little build here, and we're going to count up 3 this time. So 1, 2, 3, place on there, 1, 2, 3, and place our other one there. Then if we grab another 2 connectors, so we're going to place them on the end of our sticks again, just like so. And then finally grab another 2 spinners and just pop them on either side of our bike. Okay, so we're building up our sides again. So what you want to do for this phase, as I've just done it here, we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 connectors and just build up our sides a little bit. So for some of these bits you might need to eyeball it, so don't worry about it. I'm sure you got this though. You can just tell by the one in the seat, for example, is poking through the seat a little bit. So if you just eyeball it and make sure you're connecting it to the right spots, as you can see, you'll see the little like kind of sticky thing poking through the seat, and that's how you know you've got it in the right spot. Also a quick note, at this phase it is critical that you don't remove the seat, as then you might have to like destroy your entire build and go through it and that, just so then you don't have to pop it back. Then if we grab 2 connectors, as you can see I pop one there, then we just got to grab our other connector and pop it just there. So we're just building up our sides a little bit. So we'll do the exact same over on this side here. So we grab 1 connector, we'll pop it in this little dent here, and we'll just do it up here as well. So we're just filling in any gaps. And there we go, that is our motorbike all complete here. So feel free to paint it or anything if you want. And so we can just drive it around. As you see, W to move, A and D to turn, and yeah, so that's how you make a pretty basic motorbike. If you guys did struggle with this tutorial, I have left a code, like a link to the code down below, so you can see if there's any ways how you can improve it or whatever. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please sure to like and subscribe. I do make other Road to Grambys tutorials, so you'll be able to see all of them as well. Anyway guys, that's it from me. I'll see you all in another video, and yeah, hope you guys enjoy your motorbike.